to do this again without breaking anything. Okay, so my plan right now, obviously nobody's watching, but this video will be available after. I got some feedback last time I did a little intro stream, and people said that they would be interested to see some photo editing, and that's something I need to do anyway, so yeah, I'm just doing it live in case anybody wants to watch. I'm going to use a new software. I can show it here. And it's called ON1 Photo Raw. I've never used this software before, so this is either going to be interesting or it's going to be a complete disaster. Or just like very uninteresting. Because I really have no idea what I'm doing with this. So, yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to try it out, and I'm going to try to remember some of these places that we went to in Barcelona. This was from a trip last year in 2022, in February. Yeah, so I'm just going to get into it, I guess. Yeah, so I think I figured this out, but I mean, I've used other editing softwares before, like Lightroom from Adobe and stuff. And this has a pretty similar layout, but the way that you import photos and stuff was a little bit different. So the first job I want to do is to sort out which photos I want to edit and which ones I'll just get rid of. There's currently, I think 180 pictures in this album. So I need to, yeah, first job is to sort through them and remove any of the photos that I don't want to edit. In Lightroom, the way you do that is you do like an import and you select all the photos there and then you import them into like a, I don't know, an album, I guess. But here it's a little bit different. I had to create the album and then I can give them a rating, or I think you can give them a heart. Yeah. I'm not sure why these ones, okay, these have X's for some reason. Okay, maybe I'm marking those for deletion, I guess. You're gonna learn here with me. But yeah, I guess that's probably what I want to do. And for photos like these, this is a panorama. Like, I mean, I'm assuming that I shot these four in sequence like this to be a panorama. So I think what I can do, this is like the edit tab. In Lightroom, I think it's called develop. And here you even have a develop tab. And I think hopefully the lens correction is already applied. Yeah, so all of these photos were shot on the same lens, and the same camera. But yeah, that's this lens info. I'm not sure if that's just what comes from the Samyang lens, but yeah, it's actually a Samyang lens, and I think last time I opened the program I had to adjust that. So I set this to Samyang. And what that does is, this is the original photo, and you can see there's a bit of vignetting and stuff around the edges. And with just the lens correction added, you can see it sort of warps the edges a little bit and it removes the vignette. So yeah, the idea is that, like if I want to stitch these together as a panorama, for example, I don't want a vignette there, because then where it gets darker towards the edges is going to get stitched onto the next image, and you'll get like a dark section in between the images. So it's important that it does the lens correction before it stitches together the panorama. That's something I had a little bit of trouble with in Lightroom in the past, was sometimes it would stitch together images with the vignette still there, and you would get these weird lines in between. But I think that that's automatically adding the lens correction on all of the photos here before I do any editing. So if I go back to browse, should be able to just select these and press pano, I think. One thing I've noticed already is that these tasks seem to be a little bit slow. I'm not sure if I'm just imagining it, like maybe it was the same in Lightroom and other programs, but it seems a little bit slow. So already that looks really good. Like it looks like an original photo, not stitched together. I guess it chose spherical. And it's automatically cropping. So let's see what none looks like. So spherical versus collage. Collage looks a lot more warped. The horizon looks a little bit weird here. This woman's kind of standing on an angle, so I guess collage is probably nicer in this case. She's still on a bit of an angle, but yeah, I don't know. I think the building looks okay. Warp to fill looks a little bit strange, so I think I'm going to crop it. Okay, that looks good. So I think when you make an edit, it creates like a metadata file, because these are all raw photos. I think it creates a metadata file of like the edit. I'm not sure if it creates a new image for this panorama or if it just references the other images and has like a metadata thing, but I'm still learning a bit how the file handling is done. But I'm looking in the source folder to the right, and I don't see anything being added there. I can probably show you. Where did that go? All right. Very confused. Did it add something in this album? I guess not. Yeah, I don't understand what's happening. If somebody knows, feel free to let me know. But yeah, so I just stitched a panorama and seemingly didn't work, or I just don't know where it went. Let's just try that again. Maybe I missed something. Who knows if I'm going to get through this album. I might just bang my head against the wall for an hour and then give up. We'll see. Open in browse. I mean, I'm in browse now, right? I'm just doing it again because I'm wondering if it failed or something. It's pretty slow. Hmm. So it's definitely made two because it said copy. I just don't know where it went. We're off to a good start. All right. Let me just check my file folders. I just don't want to dox myself, so I'm not going to show the screen. Okay. I think I know what's happening. Possibly. Yeah, okay. So I think what it did was it put it in the original file folder, original location, and it didn't add it to the album for whatever reason, which I don't know. It seems like not a very desirable um, behavior on the UX side of things. Let me show the program again. Okay, so I went back into browse. I just don't want to show all my folders on my computer. But I found the stitched panorama there and I just dragged it back into this album. So yeah, I guess it would be nice if it just automatically brought it into the album, but I have to remember that for now. So these ones I'm going to remove from the album. I don't want it to go to the recycle bin. So I want to remove from the album. And then I just did that because I stitched a panorama, but for the rest of the photos I'm going to remove. I'm just going to mark them here. So I'm just going to go through and... Is there a keyboard shortcut for this? I think there's keyboard shortcuts for ratings, but for now I'll just have to click this. So... now comes the tedious task of just choosing what to keep and what not to keep. I usually go through and do like several rounds of this. But yeah, I guess while I'm doing it, I can talk about what is in the photos. So this is the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona. Apologies if I'm butchering all of the pronunciations there. So yeah, I've got a panorama here, a vertical panorama and a vertical image. I guess I'll keep this one because it's has a bit more, a bit more in frame. So I'll just... Okay, that's a filter. That's annoying. Yeah, so what that did when I clicked that was it's filtering for all of the images which have that. So I have to click on here, I guess. Yeah, this is up close. I mean, it looks impressive, but I don't know what I was thinking here with the angle. Like it's a little bit of a janky angle. God, I need to figure out some shortcuts for this. I like this, just because, I don't know, miniatures are cool. Some of these are super grainy, but we'll get to test out, I guess, how good the noise removal is. That one I think is a bit better framed. Yeah. Wouldn't call these great photos to start with. That's cool too, but I'm not really like in the middle of the building, so the symmetry kind of disappoints me a little bit. guess I was just trying to capture some things just to show people what it's like afterwards. It's really hard in these kind of places when there's hundreds of people walking around inside to get to a position where you can actually take a nice symmetrical photo. I don't know. I'll do a couple of rounds of this. I'll keep this for now and see how we go. That would be a cool photo, but George is making a bit of an awkward pose. That one's kind of cool. Not prepared for a photo. I'll keep it anyway. It's cute. God, none of these are very exciting so far. Oh yeah, I did mention that I was going to talk about what's in the photos. So this is inside the building, inside the Sagrada Familia. I don't know so much about the history, but I know that it was designed by this super famous artist and architect. What's his name? Gaudi something. And it's been under construction for a long time, and it's still under construction. But it's, you know, the main central part is finished, and you can go and check it out, and it's amazing. Like the style of the architecture, I guess it's designed to be like these columns and stuff. It's meant to look like you're in a forest or something, which I guess you can get the idea there. They're kind of branching off. So in some ways it looks very much like a, you know, typical big church, but it's quite a modern design that has a lot of like very artistic differences in it. And the windows inside have like these really nice colors. On one side it's kind of a greeny blue like this, and the other side is much warmer. It's like this orange, red sort of colors. Definitely worth checking it out if you're in Barcelona at some point. Okay, this one I like a bit more. It's a bit more symmetrical, but it's a bit crooked, but I can fix that. Okay, that one's a bit better. This is kind of overexposed. It looks cool though because it's like glowing sort of, but I think maybe it's just too bright, and but this is kind of boring, so don't know. It's weird framing. That's cool. I guess I'm just trying to show, like, trying to pick some of the images that show best, like, how cool this place is. The goal for this is that I'll post them on Instagram or something, and I'll probably only post. I don't know. Generally, I just try to do one post for a city. Sometimes I'll do like 2 or 3, so like 3 sets of 10 photos, depending how many good photos are there. But I don't know. If it turns out that there's heaps of good photos from here, then maybe I just do one post for this building. Otherwise, I'll just try to get like 2 or 3 of the best photos that show this place, um, and yeah, and then the rest of the post can be about other stuff. But so, yeah, this is kind of a topic of like with digital photography in general. A lot of people tend to take heaps and heaps of photos, and I kind of do it in a way too, but I think like 180 photos isn't that excessive for like 4 days of photography. So already I'm trying to kind of limit myself while I'm there. But if you have in mind a goal of like I'm gonna post 10 to 30 photos online, um, that really makes you a bit more brutal when you're deciding on like what makes the cut. Uh, and yeah, I try not to stand there and take 100 photos of the same thing. Like if I do multiple photos of something, hopefully it's like 2 or 3. Like you can see I've got 2 photos here that are the same thing, and three here that are like similar, but I've moved position at least in all of them. But yeah, the goal here is really to cut it down as much as possible because I don't need to be editing 180 photos. It just takes up too much time. And nobody wants to look at 180 photos. Guess that kind of defeats the purpose of this stream, but yeah. I'm going to keep that one because it's kind of unique. This is cute. This is stupid, but I tend to keep these because like it's very rare that I have photos of myself. I end up having the same display photos for years, so take what you get, you know. It's hard with these places when there's so many people around. This is good here that everybody has to wear masks, so I'm sort of protecting their identities a little bit, but this is kind of cool. You know, nobody in the shot here, and there's no like, I don't know, there's no weird signs or anything. Like here, you know, you see these little signs that are telling people to not do something, and it kind of breaks the illusion of it being this really natural looking building. But they're like, it's much nicer because it's just everything in the shot is building. So I'll probably get rid of this one. That one's a bit awkward. Very crooked. Also, if you're someone who does a lot of traveling, you probably know this as well, but cranes and scaffolding are like the bane of your existence as a photographer because no matter what building you go to, there always seems to be some kind of construction happening there or maintenance. And I don't know, maybe I can cut this out in the edit. I'll keep that one for now. It's kind of cool. A lot of glare on the glass, but what can you do? I like this. I mentioned before, all of these are shot on the same lens. And I do that just because I like just traveling with one lens. And the Samyang 35mm, it's very small. I would show it to you, but I'm shooting through it right now. So it makes the camera really light and portable and easy to fit into your bag and stuff. But it does limit you to what kind of shots you can get. And you know, you can get a good sort of in between of like landscape stuff and portrait stuff, but generally it's not quite wide enough for landscape and it's not quite zoomed enough for portraits, but it's like a nice sweet spot in between. But I find I get the most interesting shots when I try to do up close stuff like this one. And I don't know, maybe it's like not a very sophisticated type of photography, but I'm really into like you know, the depth of field, background blur, bokeh in the back and whatever. Maybe it's a bit of a trope, but this kind of photo, I guess, is like a nice, it's a nice change from just like everything pretty much in focus. I mean, obviously not everything's in focus, but it's nice to have these kind of dramatic photos in between that you manage to get by getting closer to something with this lens. Anyway. Yeah. And on that too, I pretty much like, I don't know, real photographers will probably think I'm an amateur, but I pretty much always shoot with this lens, like with the aperture fully open. It's a 2.8 aperture lens. And I know you can get sharper images if you stop it down to like 8 or something, if you're doing like a landscape shot or something. But yeah, I don't know. I pretty much just always leave it open. I never really find that much that like stopping it down improves the sharpness so much that it makes it worth it. And often I just have like a dirty lens or a dirty sensor or something, so if I stop it down, it just makes all these dots on the lens obvious. So I pretty much just keep it open all the time. It's just, I like the way it looks, so yeah. Okay, so we got three of the same thing. Firstly, I don't know what any of this text means, so zooming in on the correct word doesn't really matter to me. That one is a bit too bright. And this, mm, I prefer this one because you have the out of focus side here and it's a bit closer, so I think I'll take out these last two. Okay, that looks like a panorama. So I'm gonna stitch these together again. Um, let's just check this without the crop again to see what looks better. So that's spherical. Looks a bit warped, like this edge is very curved. Yeah, I think that's a bit better, the collage. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. Um, let me just try, maybe the stretching fixes the spherical. So if I go warp to fill, I'm thinking that like these edges get stretched out, so it might look less warped. I mean, it does help, but this edge still looks really warped. I mean, it still looks warped there too. Oh, I hate making these decisions. In other programs, I generally used to do the warp to fill because I felt like you get the most out of the frame that you made. I think that looks okay. I'm gonna stick with that. All right. Hmm. And yeah, so I'm putting an X on all these pictures, and then afterwards I'll filter this by pressing that, and it'll show all the ones that I've set X to, and then I can remove them from the album. I keep all of the originals like in a folder on my hard drive. I'll keep all the original raws unless like there's one that's super blurry or something not worth keeping, then maybe I'll delete it. But generally, I keep all the originals, and I only make a selected album of the photos I'm going to edit, and then I'll export them separately. But I keep the originals, so that's why I don't want to delete these. Let me go back to this camera again so I don't dox myself. Where did it go? Okay, I've lost the panorama now. I know I'm still on this camera. I'm just gonna sort this out. We're back. All right, I just had to go into the browse and bring this panorama back in. So now these 4 images I can remove, which I have to do by pressing delete and remove. Then I can move on. Okay, I've got 3 photos here. It's just going to be about framing. I think that one's good. Okay, those 2 are out. And that's the end of this building. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to remember to actually be like a tour guide or travel guide here, but definitely worth checking out if you go to Spain. This building is super impressive. But yeah, I have no idea what this is. Just was something random I found on the street. There's a lot of artwork around Barcelona and a lot of stuff from the same guy. But yeah, if anybody knows what that is, I could do some investigative journalism on Google Maps or something, but really can't be bothered. Do I like these photos? I'll keep them for now. Keep that one because it's just one. All right, I need to look up this guy's name again. Yeah, I think his name's Gaudi. Gaudi. Yeah. Yeah, he's from Spain. Born in 1852, died in 1926. So a lot of this architecture was designed by him. I'm pretty sure this building was too. And I guess it's more like an apartment building, this one. Can I stitch those 2 together? Not sure. This is very overexposed. That's really bad framing. I'll just see if I can stitch them. But oh no, that's bad. It's way too warped. So the Sagrada Familia, you can see it from the street, but if you want to go inside, like I did, you'll have to pay to go in. I can't remember how expensive it is, but not crazy. Maybe like 15 or 20 bucks or something. But this is just a building on the street, and I think people live in it, so you can't go inside, but you can get up close and check it out. Yeah, this just looks bad. Gonna delete both of those. I might keep this one. This is another building, I think, also by him. It's across the street, like on the same block. That's a cool photo. This is a panorama, so let's try stitch those. Might seem kind of pointless to do these really small panoramas like this, but basically I do it because I'm limited by having this one lens. If I had a wider angle lens, I could obviously just zoom out. But yeah, this allows me to get a bit more in frame with the one lens, and it's not too much work to stitch them together afterwards. I'm just trying to figure out which one looks more natural. That looks a bit too warped to me, so I think I'll go for that one. So far, I'm not super impressed with this panorama stuff on this software. Like it makes a good panorama. Uh, no problem with how it looks. It's just like it seems to be kind of slow, and I don't like that it doesn't add the panorama to the album unless I'm missing something in the settings or yeah, I don't know. Uh, Let me find that. Mhm. Okay, so I've added that back in. I can remove these. Oops. What do I prefer? Not sure, to be honest. It's kind of bad because there's a bus there. I'll keep both for now. This one I think is funny. I'm going to keep that. Mm. Might already be at that point where I'm just can't be bothered with this anymore. Okay, that one's got a bus in it. Lose that. Not ready for the photo. Also not ready for the photo. Uh, I'll keep it anyway. It's funny. Way too overexposed. That one's kind of cool. This is like, I guess, sort of the main tourist street. I forget the name of it, but there are some like tourist trap uh, restaurants and stuff down here. But it's a nice street to walk down. Um, and there's a lot of places that you can see that come off of this street as well. Uh, that's kind of cool. Gives you a bit of an idea of what the buildings look like in the city center. I like this with the clock here. Maybe more interesting than that one. Might lose that one. There's too many people in it. Okay, that one she was not ready. This one's kind of cool though. I'll keep that. Keep that one. Probably what I should be doing actually is not marking the ones to delete, but marking the ones that I like, possibly. Hmm. Can I filter two things? Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, so I would be able to filter all the ones that I didn't like, and then I could remove them. That's probably what I'll do next time. Okay, I'm up to here. This was just like a little courtyard garden thing. I think it was free to enter. I don't really know why it was there, but it looked nice. Uh, this one's funny. George is in the background taking a picture of me. Lose that. Uh, I'll keep that for now. I'll delete that one. Delete that. Too much scaffolding. This is a bit grainy, but Perhaps if I can remove the color from the grain, so just more like film grain, I'll keep it. I think I like the wide one better. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I really like these lamps, but that's not a great photo. But I'll keep it for now. Okay, a little bit too uh not candid. This one's nice. This one's probably better. I think that was just like a square that comes off that main street. There's some nice restaurants and stuff there. So it's the Airbnb, just hanging out. Maybe that's a good one. Yeah. I guess it's like a funicular or something. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is it's a castle. What's it called? Mont Montjuic. So Montjuic is like this mountain next to the city of Barcelona. Or in the city, I don't know, on the edge of the city. And yeah, you can get this train ride up to the top. I don't think that's a good photo, but it's just good documentation, I guess. It's the entrance into the castle. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of cool. These kind of photos I've been collecting for years. Basically, everywhere that I travel, I always find like if I'm in a castle or I don't know, in a building in Chernobyl or something, I like taking photos through windows outside. Maybe it's something that a lot of people do, I don't know, but at some point I want to make an album of these kinds of photos and just have like one from every country or something. So I'll keep that. I think I prefer the focus on the window rather than the outside. That's looking back over at Barcelona. Doesn't look that nice, to be honest. Probably take them out. You know what? I think I'm gonna swap this around now so that I'm deleting. I'm choosing the ones to keep rather than the ones to delete. So I'm gonna remove all the ones that I've marked to remove. So I've just filtered the ones with the X. And I think I need to press delete and then remove. Yeah. Oh god. What did I do? Oh. Okay. So I need to mark all of these with a heart. Oh my god. Can I not do that? Oh, there is keyboard shortcuts. Just do it to all of them. Okay. What have I done? Do I seriously have to do this? Okay, if anyone from ON1 ever sees this, I know you won't, but please fix this. Or somebody please teach me a better way to do this. Oh my god. Alright. So I'm down to 133 photos. Still too many. Hmm. Yeah, so like I said, a lot of this stuff, I guess it's good for documenting and seeing what it was like, but also it's not that interesting of a photo to have like edited and on display. So, I mean, that's cool. There's an archery range there if you're interested. Not sure if you can participate, but the picture's not that great. um, I'll keep this one. This is cool. Okay, here's going to be a lot of the same picture. Um, this camera has an option to do like a what do you call it? Not bracketing. It does like 5 shots in one, just so that if in one of the photos you blink or something, then you know you're not going to blink in every picture. So one of them will be without blinks, unless you really try to be like do it 5 times at exactly the right time. One of the pictures will be good. In this case, I don't think we ever blinked, but I guess we did it again because Georgia wanted to take her glasses off. But I happened to look um, more pissed off in the second one. Probably because she said we had to do it again. um, but I guess she will complain if I don't use those ones. So let's do that. They pretty much all look the same. Let's do this one. Okay. It's a nice little courtyard in the castle. Mm, I like that, but you can't see the courtyard. So maybe this is better. The ground kind of looks not that great. Whatever. I'll keep this one too. That's probably a better look at this, a more interesting look at the city than the other ones. Very excited. That's cute. That's kind of cool. No idea what that is. Apologies. I won't keep it. Ah, okay. I think this is yeah, I really should like look on maps to figure out what this stuff is. Hang on. Barcelona. That annoys me so much when people try to pronounce things the way that people from their country pronounce it, like Ibiza, Barcelona. Right. So this is Barcelona. This is Castel de Montjuic. This is the castle that we're at. And this was where the archery range and stuff was. And that's that little courtyard. So yeah, it's kind of on the edge of the city. Now, this place in the next photos, it's a park. And am I gonna be able to find it? Let me look it up. Hang on. Park Güell. All right. Park. Well, also probably butchering the pronunciation. So this park, pretty sure it was another project from Gaudi, and most of it is just a park uh, with lots of trees and things to see. But there is some architecture there to see. So like this thing, let's see if we have a 3D view. Nope, don't know what this means. Can I not like rotate it anymore? Okay, anyway. How do I do that? I thought there was a way to like tilt it if I press Control or Shift or something. Hmm. Okay. Well, anyway, there's this thing here with lots of stuff going on that I could show you better if I could rotate it. I'll just show you in the photos. But this is where we're at now. Okay, so this is that big flat area that we saw on maps, and this is like all along here. There's kind of a mosaic sort of thing. So, which are some good photos to show this off. I like this one. This is funny. I'll just edit all the pictures of Georgia just to embarrass her, I think. Like this. I don't know how they make this, but it's very common in all of this sort of architecture, this kind of very natural, weird, sort of almost fungus looking rock structures. We'll leave that one out. Yeah, so underneath this platform, there's a bunch of columns holding it up, which I've probably got better photos of later. I kind of like that one. Ooh. Okay, maybe this one is underexposed, but this one's definitely overexposed. And that one's nice. Keep that. Overexposed. I think this shows off well the like the structure of these kinds of things. Okay, that's not Georgia. Oh well, I'm gonna keep this one anyway. That's a bit boring. A bit boring. I like that one. That's good. Some spider webs. Not only Australia that has spiders. Yeah, this is what it looks like from the front. So if you see like these stairs here, yeah, this is where this is shot. I think that's a nice kind of overview of what it looks like. This is underneath with all the columns. Maybe I can remove this lady. Okay, so here, oh, I gotta remember where this is. Am I gonna be able to remember it? There's a spot where you can, it's like a lookout where you can climb up. Maybe it's up here somewhere. It's basically like a big terrace sort of thing on the side of a mountain. And lots of people go up there at sunset, and you can get a really good view from up there. So some of these photos will probably be nice. I kind of like this one. Okay, then we've got some night shots. Very noisy. Yeah, it's a bit rough. Maybe these long exposures are better. I'll keep that one anyway and see if I can fix it. That's a bit overexposed, but this one's good. Yeah, that's better framing. That one I would just delete from the actual disc, because it was just blurry. Which do I prefer out of those? Probably this one. Okay. No idea what this is. A museum, I guess. ACA. I can look this up. No, I can't. Well, there you go. Will remain a mystery. Wish I could remember something to tell you about this, but I don't. Kind of like this one. It's bad framing. Don't know what. Okay, I think I was looking at these windows here. Yeah, not a very interesting picture. Yeah, that's not great. This one's kind of cool. I like that one. Eh. 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 Oh, there's a story behind this tree, I think. Like, I think this tree has been there for a super long time, and it's being held up by these cables. Because I guess it can't hold itself up. I'll keep that one. This, I think we went on a walking tour, and this was an area where there was like, obviously, these are bullet holes. God, I'm like the worst tour guide ever. I mean, if I had just gone here and been doing this, maybe I could tell you something interesting about it, but I really can't. This one's probably better, I would say. Keep that. Um, yeah, I think from memory, this is like the shortest street in the city or something. Let me look it up. Oh my god. Memory is so bad. Already forgotten. That come on. I wrote that right, surely. Oh my god. How particular do you want to be about it, Google? Yeah, so this street, it's like, I think it's like this. It's the street, like from here to here. I think that's the story behind that street. It's very short. Anyway, not a great photo. I think it was just for the story. And this, I guess, is the airport. So we're pretty much done. Um, yeah, cool sunset. You have a lame view through the window at the airport, but I'll keep it. Alright, so filter by blank and crushed. These are all the ones I wanted to get rid of. Okay. 79 left. So that's the first pass through, I guess. So I removed 100 photos. Went from 180 down to 80. Yeah, so I guess I'll do another pass and try to figure out which ones to keep and which ones to get rid of. Just gonna have a drink of water. Too much talking. And I'm back. All right. So now I need to like click the ones I'm gonna delete. Okay. God, these pictures of the ceiling. I wish I got better pictures of the ceiling because it looks really impressive in person, but maybe I've got some super wide angle pictures on my phone or something. Because I don't know if these are worth keeping. Maybe that one. I'll remove this one. That's not that exciting. Just good for the memory, I guess. I like that one. That shows the roof a lot better, I think. So maybe I'll get rid of this one too, because this kind of shows the columns and the roof. That's whatever. That one's funny. I like when I post on Instagram to do like not all just super boring photos. Like I guess subconsciously we're more drawn to pictures of people, but I also want to show off landscapes and architecture and stuff. But generally I'll make like the first post, the first picture in the post. Oh my god. Oh yeah, just realized that it was just looking at my face. Um, okay, so I decided to get rid of this because this photo shows better like the roof and the columns. I decided to get rid of this too because I wanted to show off the roof better, but you know, these photos aren't that great. This picture doesn't really look that good. It just serves the purpose of remembering something, I guess. I like this. I like this. I like this. And yeah, as I was saying, like in an Instagram post, you want to start like the first picture should be something like this, like a picture of you or yeah, ideally of you if it's your Instagram or of your friend or whatever. Um, because yeah, people are more interested in people, but you still want to show nice things like this. But so generally, what I try to do is even if they're not great photos of people, if it's like fun or whatever, I'll keep them. and I try to like pepper them in to posts. So I'll have like one like this, and then a couple showing some people, some landscape or whatever, and then another one of a person, and then some more landscapes. So even if it's a picture that's not that great, of like if you're making a weird face or something, I generally keep it just in case. These ones I like. This one's good. This one is not good, but it's one of the only pictures of me, so I'll keep it. I like that. This is not so great. I'll get rid of that. This doesn't really have any meaning to me. I mean, I don't remember what any of this stuff means anyway, but like, yeah, I don't know. I'll get rid of that. This one I like. This is cool. This is probably better. I'll keep them both just in case. Uh, this is more interesting than that, I guess. It shows more of what it is, but this is a more interesting picture. Maybe I'll get rid of this one. Keep that. I think I'll get rid of this panorama. That's a good one. This is like, it's a bit whatever. It's a bit just like the street. Get rid of that. This is funny. The main street, keep that. It's a bit whatever. Keep this one because I like the clock. It's also a bit whatever, but I'll keep it. I mean, I only really included this one purely for the buskers. Gives you a bit of an idea of the culture. Like the modern culture, I guess. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll keep it. Um, I liked this place, but this photo is not that great. I'll keep this one and this one. I'll keep this one. Yeah, so I had a picture before that I took out, which was this, because I think these two are nicer. So I'll keep those. That's whatever. I'll get rid of that. This is cute. This is different. Would probably crop it to not have the TV and stuff in it. It's one of the only pictures of the outside of the castle, so I'll keep it. It's whatever. Whatever. Keep. I think the detail in this isn't really that important. Like you're just seeing little car tracks on the gravel and stuff. So maybe the out of focus one is better. That's cool. Keep it. Keep it. Keep it. Guess that's the only photo I have of these two buildings. So keep it. That's more interesting. So get rid of that. Maybe I can remove those people. I don't know if this program has something like content aware fill or something. That could be cool. I've got better photos of the city from up high, so I'll get rid of that. That's good. Maybe that's a bit boring, but I'll keep it. keep those for now. This one probably isn't that great. Whatever. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, whatever. All right. So I managed to cull a few more, but not that many. Okay, 65. So I'm gonna edit 65. I'm okay with that. Like a lot of the time, I'll even edit up to 100 pictures, even though I'm only gonna post 30 of them. But that just takes longer than is necessary. So I'll edit 65. That's good for my memories, and then yeah, I'll choose some out of those. But it's likely that I'll do more than one Instagram post on this, I guess. Being that I've still got this many pictures that I think are worth editing. Um, all right. So I just dazed off a little bit. I'm thinking I might take a break from this soon, but let's try a couple of edits just to see what it's like since you've sat through this whole boring process of selecting images. Okay, so let me try to refocus. Generally, my philosophy on video editing, photo editing, is that I don't want to do too much crazy stuff, but I am willing to make like significant changes if I feel like it represents uh, a realistic view of this place or a realistic human um, perception of this place, I guess. What I mean by that is like sometimes you go somewhere and um, you see something and it looks amazing. Like you're in awe of how incredibly nice the place looks. And you take a photo of it, and then later when you look at the photo, it doesn't seem to capture what you experienced when you were there. Um, a lot of people think about photo editing like, uh, what you capture is the art, and editing is like you're cheating or something. Like you're supposed to capture it in in the the one shot that you take, and that's the art form. Um, but I think the problem with that is that you're you're limited by the technology of the camera. Um, like I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to think of an analogy. Like if you were gonna make a painting, um, you don't just buy a canvas and then you say like, okay, I've captured the canvas. This is a dumb analogy. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is that what you get in that initial snap, like the photo as it is, I don't think usually it doesn't match what you experienced when you were there. And when you paint a picture, you're not painting it one for one exactly how it technically looks like. You're painting it how it looks like through your eyes. So if I take a picture of something and then I look at the picture and I think later, like, that's not how it looked through my eyes. Like, not just on a technical level, but there might be other things that are influencing it. Like, maybe you're in a really good mood and everything looks like you interpret things as looking differently. Um, so I want to edit the pictures to reflect that, to reflect how it looks to me or how I imagine that it was, um, so that I can share that with other people. Because if I'm just sharing them a raw picture, um, it's not that interesting. I want to share with them like how amazing it was to see in person, I guess. Um, in saying that, this program allows you to do a lot of crazy things like sky replacement and stuff. I can try that out here. Um, and this is pretty much, I would avoid this. Like, I mean, you can make it look a lot better than this, I guess, but I don't feel like this is within the realm of believability to me. I don't want to change, I don't want to add things that weren't there, you know. Um, I just want to adjust what I'm seeing because this is a very flat image, for example. Like I can adjust contrast and I can adjust color and stuff to make it look a bit more how I think that I saw it on the day. And that's what I think the art of editing is um you want to try to recapture the experience as you saw it to make up for the losses that happen in a camera. And it's the same in film photography as well. Like I know that film has a specific look, but even then I don't think it captures like what you see. Um so yeah, my goal here is to try to create something that reflects how I remember this being or how I picture myself seeing it. And I just realized that I did it again where I didn't show what I was doing before. I think maybe it's time to end this stream, but um to show you now, like this software is capable of replacing the sky. uh and yeah, this is over the top for me. Like I don't want to add things in there that aren't there. So I probably won't touch that. Um unless I can do something like super subtle, but it yeah, I don't want to add things that aren't there. I'm probably just mostly going to stick with the develop tab. Maybe some effects because I know you can do like dynamic contrast and stuff, which, you know, that might be nice to use, but I generally just want to do adjustments. Now, I'm not exactly sure. I think develop is kind of the same as adjustment, although adjustments are like layers that you can add so you can mask certain things. So sometimes, you know, I might not do a sky replacement, but I might want to adjust something about the sky, I guess. I don't actually know what I'm doing here. So that's, I've got the sky selected. So maybe I want to like adjust the temperature of the sky. I've done this before where I wouldn't go like extreme like this, but you know, this is still taking the pixels that are there, and I might like cool it down a little bit like this because it's, you know, it was a very overcast day and the sky was very grey. Um, but probably when I was there, it probably looked less grey. It's just hard for a camera to capture that. So yeah, sometimes I like to do little things like this. Maybe that's even too extreme. Um, but just to try to you know, bring back a little bit of life to this very grey image because it wasn't so grey to me when I was there. That makes sense. Uh, but I'll hide that for now. Um, I want to see. So I want to see levels, I think. So generally, I try to look at the histogram and make sure that everything is you know, it's not overexposed or underexposed. So if these sections of the graph, like you can see the individual colors here, and then the gray is kind of the average. If that is falling off the edge here, that means that it's underexposed. And if this is hard up against this edge, then it's overexposed. So I can see that like there's a lot of there's a lot of bright stuff here, which is probably just the sky. But everything is pretty much in exposure, and I probably want to spread this out a little bit so I get a little bit deeper blacks and a little bit bright whites, because yeah, it's looking a bit dull. And like I said, this is my first time using this program, so I'm not so familiar with like how drastically these controls are going to affect everything. And you know, like I could also just do a contrast adjustment, which is going to do a similar thing. This is getting the shadows good, but the midtones are a little bit too low. So I'll probably bring that up a little bit. Also, I'm like super OCD, and you'll notice these numbers, I always end up making them multiples of 8, or at least like even numbers. And if you can avoid that, do it, because it doesn't bring any extra value. I just do it because I'm weird. Okay, so we're saying that's before and that's after. And by boosting it so much like that, I've kind of lost a bit of the color, which I'm not really so used to that happening. I think it's just because I dropped the shadows so much. So I might drop them a little bit less. And this is going to take me a while to do this first photo just because I'm getting used to this, but yeah, I would hope that this doesn't take me this long to do the whole 65 photos. All right, now it feels a little bit undersaturated. And what I mean by that is it's not very colorful. And I don't want to go over the top too much like this, where everything looks crazy, but sometimes I will crank the saturation a fair bit and maybe drop, like in this case, the oranges look too crazy. So I could like drop the oranges later. So I'm not actually sure where I can find like a color level adjustment yet, but hopefully I'll figure that out. And vibrance, yeah, I don't know. Some people might think this is extreme, but the temperature is pretty good, I think. Interesting that it starts to look very red, where I'm used to it turning more yellow. Uh, hmm. Sorry, I'm just playing around with things. I think I want to warm it up a little bit. These kind of like structure and texture sliders that you see in photo editing software, I generally find it works well for architecture, but you don't want to use it so much when it's like people and faces and stuff. But it kind of is nice to add a little bit of detail on the edges and things of architecture. You can see how much like more detailed the building looks there compared to here. It looks really soft. And sometimes reducing haze also brings in a bit of clarity. Like, but yeah, a lot of people try to avoid these sliders. Okay, purity, I have no idea. Reduces the color saturation of highlights to remove a color cast. Okay. So if I crank the saturation, That's interesting. So then it's more just like saturating the shadows, I guess. Oh, it's adding back some purity to the shadows. So perhaps I can also reduce it from the skin. That's cool. Perhaps I can go a little bit more overboard with the saturation and then bring back some purity. What am I doing? Oops. Do not do that. It's a little bit too saturated, I think. Drop it back down. It's the original. Yeah, I think that's maybe a bit too orange. Maybe I'll drop that back. Okay. Noise and sharpening. Probably don't need too much sharpening. Or noise reduction. Like it's just gonna make things look less clear. Which side is the affected side? I guess this side. I don't know. Okay. Sharpening is pretty clean. Like it doesn't look too messy. Well, the trees look a bit messy there. But I can probably add a decent amount before it looks too rough. It is a bit noisy down here. I'll clean that up a little bit. Sometimes I'll just do like a blanket noise reduction on all of the images in the album. So I'll even do that before I do like the color adjusting and stuff. I'll add a bit of noise reduction, a bit of sharpening, and then just select all of the photos and apply to all of them so that I kind of just have that as like a baseline. And then a lot of them I won't need to change it because it'll be good enough as it is. But yeah, in these trees it's a bit noisy. Okay, that's probably fine. Like I don't really know. I'm not really good with how I should adjust the threshold and everything. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm over it. Lens correction is fine. And then transform. I think I can do this with the transform tool. So, oh geez. Hmm. Do I do it here or do I do it here? Oh, keystoning. Okay, it's probably better to do it here. Now, this is a tricky one because the building looks crooked, but then if I tilt it this way, the woman walking at the bottom is like super crooked. So maybe I just leave it as it was. Yeah, I don't know. I will say sky replacement would be nice to get rid of this crane. um, I wonder if I can just get rid of that somehow. If I want to crop this, I guess I actually need to use the crop tool. Do I want to crop it? I think I'll keep it like this. So I didn't do any transforming. Okay. You know, I think I'm pretty much over this for now. I'm gonna come back to it. What I want to figure out is how I can, or if I can, get rid of this crane in an easy way. I have an adjustment layer here where I change the color temperature of the sky. Maybe I want to keep that. Even brightening it up a little bit makes it look a bit less gray. Brightness and color temperature. That's way too much. Yeah, that looks better. But yeah, for now I'm pretty much over this. But generally this is what I do anyway. Like this has obviously been a lot slower today because I'm learning how to use this software. But also like, you know, it takes a while to go through images and choose what you want to edit, and now I need to actually put the effort into editing, and I've run out of steam. So I'll come back to it tomorrow or whenever. And we'll take off from here. And if anyone knows how to get rid of that crane, maybe I'll consider doing it, but maybe I don't want to do too much. Like maybe that's, yeah. Anyway, I'm starting to lose it. All right, that's enough. Hope you enjoyed or learned something. Um, doesn't matter if you didn't. Doesn't matter if you're not interested at all. It's fine. Um, I will catch you later.